Good afternoon. For those of you who don't know us, I'm Sam Seaton, CEO of Moneyhub. It's a platform that's open finance, open banking, everything in one place, all about getting everyone into the fields of financial wellness. But today we're here to talk to Gillian. Gillian is the head of UK Intermediary Solutions for Schroders, and she's recently won Woman of the Year for Investments at the Professional Advisor Awards. Very excited, Gillian, to be with you today. Just tell us a little bit more about that journey.
Oh gosh, what a journey in financial services. I could be here all day talking about it, but essentially I joined over 30 years ago. The joke about when I was 5 is now wearing a bit thin, but I've had a great career. I absolutely love the industry. And many years at Standard Life. Then I did a bit of consulting, which was great fun. Worked with loads of asset managers and platforms. And then set up a business and sold it. So lots of interesting things along the way. And then finally ended up at Schroders just about 3 years ago now, heading up their solutions business for predominantly the intermediary market, but obviously there's loads of other opportunities in the space for investment solutions. So again, trying to look at how do we widen the net on that a bit.
Well, I can't think of anyone better to do that, given all the roles that you've had and the impact you've made in those roles. And also recently, the NED appointment.
Oh yeah. So I'm also in NED, that's right, for our benchmark capital business. So it's a really interesting business because there we have a platform, we have an advice business, Aspect 8, we have a network, best practice, and of course we have the Fusion Wealth platform. And we work very closely with them on the new Schroders Investment Solutions that we launched back in May. So that's a range of model portfolios and multi-asset funds. So hence, hopefully, the Women of the Year investment, which was really exciting to win, and was very honoured.
Well, I think it's incredibly well deserved because of all the roles you've done, and you bring it all together so beautifully. And one of the other things we were going to talk about today is just that so often we feel that the networking side of our world in terms of diversity and inclusion gets a little bit overlooked, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, in addition to the day job, obviously, as you well know, I spend a lot of my time thinking about how we can encourage women in the industry. And part of that for me is about networking. And obviously, we both work in on the Women in Platforms network. So there's loads of opportunities, I think, for women to meet each other, but also to think about what they want to get from a network in terms of mentoring or coaching. But it's also about making female role models really visible. And I think that's really important for young women joining this industry to sort of maybe bust some of the myths on women attaining senior positions in the industry. I'm not saying it's perfect. I think, though, we have come a long way in the 30 years that I've been in the industry, but I think it's a great place for women to be at this point in time.
Yeah, I do. I think the opportunities are massive and we should embrace them. And people like you and I are trying our very best to bring others with us on the journey. You should take full advantage of that.
Sure.
And then I guess the other thing we want to talk a little bit about was just the most important thing that you think you've taken from that career that's obviously culminated with that incredible award recently. What is it that you think that someone can really take away from today and think, right, that's something I can do, and I can do that tomorrow?
Yeah, well, people, it kind of relates to actually people asking me, how have you got to where you are, right? And that's not, it's not by accident, is it? It's by a lot of hard, let's be honest, a lot of hard work, yeah? And using the resources around me, so back to you kind of identifying who are the role models in the industry and learning from them and be curious, be brave and ask for a bit of help and generally women in the industry are very, very happy to share their experiences and to help, and I think that's really important. But for me, I think what's most important in terms of advice that I would give to anybody is absolutely make sure that the customer is at the heart of everything you do. It's so important to be mindful all the time amongst all the jargon, isn't it? We're great at the alphas, the betas, the Sharpe ratios and all of that great stuff. But we actually have a responsibility to manage people's investments and to help them invest. And we need to make sure that we understand them all the time. What are their requirements? How do they behave? What do they want to read from us? I always use the analogy of if my mother can understand this, then that's got to be good. I'm not saying she's a daft person, but I think it's a great acid test, isn't it? So as an industry, we've just got to consider our customer all the time and make sure that everything that we do is with them in mind, because otherwise we don't have the right, I don't think, to manage their money safely and to do the right thing for them.
Well, I think that's an incredible pearl of wisdom to take away. I would support that. I think if you focus on what's important, which is the client, the customer, the end consumer of what we do, then I think you really can't go too far wrong. So thanks very much.